Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another update about what's going on around here on the channel. Okay, first of all, Bimbo Gami Ga is now finished. It was only 13 episodes. As I did say in my review, I have found out that there's going to be a Bimbo Gami Ga OVA movie that's coming out at some point. I don't know exactly when. I poked around on the Japanese website and I wasn't able to find the release date. So whenever that comes out, and it'll turn up online, fan subbed in English eventually, you have my word that I'll be reviewing that. Bimbogami didn't exactly draw in a whole lot of viewers as like I was hoping. To kind of tap in some new people by starting to review an anime show. Although I was pleased that the number of people who started watching my reviews of that show really did sort of start to pick up there towards the end. And I do know that at the very least I was able to get one person out there to give the show a chance and that they really got into it. Now, as I've repeatedly said, I am not operating under any illusion that in doing these reviews I'm going to become some kind of YouTube celebrity or anything like that. I mean, that's ridiculous. I basically the majority of stuff I do around here is me reviewing superhero cartoons. I mean, you don't get YouTube famous for that. And frankly, I don't think I'd want to be famous. Intensely overrated. But, it is always sort of disheartening when you go and you glance at the stats and you see like, oh wow, like nobody or almost nobody is watching this. But still, I do this just because to me this is fun. I like talking about the TV shows and movies that I watch. I like, pointing out the character development, the plot issues, both good and bad. And by putting these out there in video form, I've been able to have some very interesting conversations, some very interesting discussions with people all around the world. And frankly, that's worth more than any number of hits in the view box. So, with that said, I have been looking around for something else to put in the anime slot because watching that kind of just really got me wanting to watch anime again because I've just sort of kind of been out of anime for a while, just sort of lost interest. And if you follow me on Twitter, always the place to get the latest news about what's going on around here, then you saw my announcement that I will be adding the animation Persona 4, the animation, to the review docket. Now, the way this is going to work, though, is a little bit different than everything else that I normally do. First of all, because this show came out a while ago, I'm really having to hunt around various places trying to find where it is I can actually watch the episodes. And there's 26 episodes. I've only been able to watch 4 of them so far, but you have to understand, I love Persona 4, and I love Persona 3 too. But seriously, Persona 4 is easily one of my absolute favorite RPGs of all time. I mean, I'm going to go out like next month when it comes out for the PlayStation Vita and buy a PlayStation Vita just so that I can play their version of Persona 4. I love the game that much. So the way I'm going to do it here is I'm not going to be doing an individual episode reviews. While I was watching the 4 episodes that I have seen, I was taking notes, and I was just sort of stuck by the fact that simply there really wasn't a whole lot of material in those notes for individual reviews. So what I'm going to do is sort of do those reviews in clusters. When I get around to it, possibly tomorrow, I haven't decided yet. I'll probably, as I said, I'll review the 4 I've seen, so we're going to keep doing that. I'm not going to say that it's going to absolutely always be 4 episodes per review. It's just, wherever I feel there's a good start and stop point. So, and this isn't going to be something like, you can always look forward to my reviews of the latest batch of Persona 4 episodes on Thursday or something like that. This will be basically whenever I get around to it. But I will eventually review the entire series. And yeah, just kind of bear with me on that, folks. But I am super looking forward to being able to talk about it just because I've played through Persona 4 like 2.5 times. I'm still working on my 3rd playthrough, and I just absolutely love it. And the anime series is insanely faithful to the game. I'm just geeking out so much when I watch it. It's like, yes, 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 it's just like in the game. But anyway, with that said, now the fall TV season has more or less kicked off in full, and as you've seen, there's a lot of reviewing going around. The last little while, I've knocked out 5 reviews. I hate to say it, but I'm not going to be able to do 5 reviews in a day like I've done just recently. The simple fact is, right now there's a big sort of 5-day holiday going on here in Korea. It's called Chuseok. It's sort of like Korean Thanksgiving, but it's more of an typical autumn festival. But anyway, I've been off work for the last couple of days. So yesterday I just really sat down and just burned through a whole bunch of the reviews that I needed to do. I am, of course, going to keep reviewing all those shows. It's just you're going to have to maybe bear with me a little bit, because these reviews do usually take somewhere in the neighborhood of between 15 minutes to half an hour of just me talking, sometimes even longer. And there's encoding and uploading and all that other fun stuff. So even a short review can sometimes take a full hour to get up on YouTube. And, trying to do like that for that after the full day at work is a little tiring. So so I will, of course, get all those reviews out to you. It's just it might be a day or two after the episode airs, and well, sorry folks, that's just the way it is. I as much as I enjoy doing these videos, I don't want to have to go home Monday night and just like do nothing but record videos and edit and upload them between the time I get home and the time I go to bed. There's other stuff I want and need to do. But speaking of time, in my last channel update, I believed I mentioned to you guys that I was going to be taking Korean classes here, because if you're one of the new people around here, I actually do live in South Korea, so that's one of the reasons why my reviews go up at least several hours after the shows air. It's just simply I'm probably asleep when those go up. And anyway, the thing is, though, I am going to have a little more free time there, because I ended up not going to the Korean classes. Not because I didn't want to improve my Korean, not because I'm lazy, but to give you the short version, it turned out the classes were being sponsored by a cult. No, seriously, I am not kidding. Now, after a statement like that, I suppose a little bit of explanation is in order. And I will try and keep it short, because I'm sure there are people out there who really don't care about all this. But this is just too crazy a story that I couldn't help but want to share it. Basically, the short version of the story is that the classes were supposed to be run by a major volunteer organization here in Korea that have a lot of branches all over the place. Pretty much all the foreigners here for English-speaking foreigners here have probably run across these guys at one point or another, and they're always inviting people out to English classes and cooking and volunteering stuff, and it's all well and good. The thing is, though, that these people had been saying that we are a completely secular organization, we have no religious affiliations, yada yada yada. And then literally the week that I was going to start taking those classes from this volunteer organization, it was basically discovered that their honorary chairman was the head of a church here in Korea that has a very, very... Well, let me put it this way. When I was talking to one of my Korean coworkers about it, the word he used in English was notorious. And having poked around online to find out more about these guys, yeah, it's a little creepy. The fellow who's in charge of it all, basically has gone out and said that when he was young, he had a vision where he was personally anointed by Jesus as the only person who could correctly interpret the book of Revelations. So, yeah. And then it turns out that his church is basically the backers of the volunteer organization. So, a lot of when this got out, about a little over, yeah, about maybe about 6 weeks ago, word of this got out. A lot of the foreigners here, like including myself, were pretty upset because we felt like we'd been lied to by the volunteer organization here. Now, you've probably noticed that I have not named any names, such as the name of the church or the volunteer organization or the guy who's in charge of it all. And that's simply because Korea has some very interesting interpretations of libel law. So I don't feel like saying anything here that might possibly get me sued. But yeah, in this whole fiasco and reading about these guys, that I've read some pretty creepy stuff, and naturally, I am not going to have anything to do with them in the future. And there's a lot more I could say about this, but I think I've rambled on about stuff that I'm assuming the majority of you don't care about at all. So we're just gonna leave it at that. I just could not share that with you guys. It's just so weird. But anyway, moving on, we've got our first reviews for stuff like Dexter and Star Wars: The Clone Wars have gone out. I was just looking at my stats on that, and the Dexter reviews, the Dexter review, the becoming plural, will have to wait another week, has already done quite a bit better than I was expecting. So hopefully we'll draw some new people around here with the Dexter reviews. And I have to say the season there looks off to a really good start. Ditto that, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Really, really fun just to have new Star Wars to talk about. I'm really excited about this upcoming season. Let me see here. Of course, Green Lantern is also back, off to a really good start. About on the 10th, we have Arrow starting up. Definitely looking forward to reviewing Arrow. I've seen some pictures from it recently of one of the new characters, one of the villains, and it looks like they are kind of taking that sort of page from the Christopher Nolan book of having characters very reminiscent of their comic book counterparts, but honestly looking like people could possibly look in the real world. I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker, of course, will probably for a very significantly long time be the gold standard on that. And of course, later on this month, season 3 of Walking Dead comes back. Definitely looking forward to that. We're going to get to see. Honestly, the prison arc is my favorite story from the Walking Dead comics. I've read. I stopped reading them around the late 90 issues, like somewhere around like issue 98, simply because I left America to come to my job here in Korea, and I haven't really been keeping up with them online because it's just a hassle to do that. I don't like to do it. So anyway, there is that. Now, as I tend to do in these channel updates, I would like to announce one more show for the review docket. This is completely new. I have not even put this out on Twitter yet. I wanted to save it as a surprise for you guys right here. And that is, I will review season 3 of Sherlock when it comes back sometime next year. I don't think that a specific date has been given for when the new season starts, but I love Sherlock. I've seen all of it so far. Benedict Cumberbatch. Oh boy, I'm gonna get some real hate message if I pronounce that guy's name wrong. But yeah, that is a fantastic show. I absolutely love it, and I will come back and review each individual episode when it comes back next year. And speaking of that gentleman, I will announce now that whenever it comes out, I will also do a review of the next Star Trek movie in which he is playing the villain, who apparently hasn't even been named yet. I've heard at least one rumor floating around, reasonably believable as to who it might be, but rumors are rumors, and this one was apparently floated by one of the people from the movie, but it was just a lot of big question of, is this really what's going on, or are they just dicking with the fans? Well, I'm not going to say what it is because I know there are some people out there who are very, very hardcore about not getting any spoilers, so I will respect that. Anyway, folks, one thing I did want to remark on, and just in terms of what's going on around the channel, is I was looking at the statistics of where people are watching my videos from, and seeing as how, with very minor exception, with like 2 exceptions, all the shows I'm reviewing are American, it's unsurprising that the vast majority of my viewers are in the United States. Hello, everyone back home. But what's really interesting is that I'm looking at right now is that the number 2 country where people are watching my videos is Japan. I'm assuming that the vast majority of people doing that are probably just expats like myself. I mean, I used to be an expat in Japan, and there are no shortage of folks with geeky interests in Japan. And let's just for fun, let's go through the top 10 list here. Not exactly David Letterman style, but number 3, the UK. Okay, well, one of the shows I'm reviewing, of course, is from the UK. Canada. Just a reminder, I have said previously that when the next season of Total Drama comes back, and they have confirmed that there is going to be a 5th season, I promise you guys, I will do an individual episode reviews of season 5 of Total Drama. I freaking love Total Drama. I can't wait to see it come back. Number 6, the Netherlands. Number 7, this one's a little bit surprising, Germany. Coolness. My stepsister actually used to live in Mannheim, so hey to everybody in Germany. Number 8, Brazil. Number 9, the Philippines, and number 10 is Singapore. And just for the heck of it, number 11 is India. So yeah, we got quite the little global community going on around here. So hello to everyone around the world. Thank you for taking the time out of your lives to watch my videos. I hope you're enjoying them. Now anyway, folks, I think that covers everything that I have to say this update. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And as I always tend to do in these channel updates, if there is something that you would like me to review, then please feel free to suggest it. If you do suggest a show to me, the way I usually will do it is, if it is a 1-hour program, I'll just watch 1 episode, and if it is a half-an-hour program, I'll watch 2 episodes. Now, keep in mind, just because you suggest something to me does not automatically mean I'm going to go out and watch and review it. If you suggest something to me, I will check it out. I will see if it seems like something I might enjoy, and if so, I'll check it out. And if I do, then almost certainly I'll post a review of it. Also, if you want to suggest some stuff to me, I ask that you basically don't post a laundry list. Don't throw 20 shows at me and say, you should watch these. Because when people do that, I feel like they're just throwing any show that they happen to mildly like at me, that just happens to cross their minds. If I see someone suggesting like maybe 1, 2, or 3 shows, then I get the feeling that those are the ones that are really dear to their heart, the ones that they're really jazzed about, and the ones they would really, 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 really like to see me review. And then I feel much more compelled to give those shows a shot, because, as I said, it doesn't feel like you're throwing the kitchen sink of stuff you like at me. So, with that said, I think we've covered everything that needs to be covered in this review. Thank you for sticking around through my questionably interesting story. Anyway, folks, as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And you can, of course, follow me on Twitter at HoosierJedi, where, as I have said in my reviews, you can most easily find the absolute latest information. And as I have also said in my newer videos, as soon as one of these videos finishes uploading to YouTube, I immediately tweet about it. So if you want to check out these reviews as soon as possible, if you just can't get enough of my way cool self, then following me on Twitter is the way to do it. Way to go. And with that said, folks, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Take care and have a good one.